We all know the history of PlayStation and handhelds. They had two, the Vita and the PSP. The PSP got so much love from Sony, good first-party and second-party titles. The amount of great third-party games is massive as well. The Vita got a lot less love, which is honestly sad because the Vita had so much potential that it was never able to utilize. The PS Vita released in 2012, 11 years ago. Since this time, PlayStation has seen a lot more success for their brand. Now they mainly focus on the PlayStation 5. They have the PSVR 2, but they don't really seem committed to that either. In my mind, if they can make a PSVR 2, then why on earth can they not make another handheld? A new handheld would sell way more than PSVR 2, and it will also have a lot more support. I know many PSVR 2 owners have a hope anytime Sony has a showcase or a state of play that they will see a new title or two to reaffirm their beliefs and commitment to that platform. PlayStation 5 owners do not have the need for such hope. I believe a handheld is a better investment for Sony right now, for a lot of reasons. I have many ideas as to why and how they can make this possible. The biggest reason they should do it is because there's a lot of hype right now with handhelds, thanks to the Steam Deck, Legion Go, ROG Ally, and all the models Aya Neo, 1X Player, GPD, and the others are making. Handheld PCs are the new craze for a good reason. Everyone has to travel, and most of us are parents. PC handhelds have done a lot for those with busy lives. To be able to pick up a system and go anywhere with it is a blessing. Instead of us going into our man caves to play our games because we have to, we can pick up one of these devices and go around the house. We can sit with our wives and play, watch the kids and be able to glance up to make sure they aren't up to no shenanigans. These handhelds have been something in the gaming space that we've needed for a while, something new. Obviously, handheld gaming isn't new, but the performance we are getting from them is new. All the innovations and improvements in this space are new. And people are hyped. Last night I was playing Spider-Man Remastered on my Steam Deck, and I couldn't help but think this is a shame that this isn't a PlayStation handheld I'm playing instead. It looks really good and plays really well. I know it is a smaller resolution, but it actually runs and looks better relatively than it did when I played it for the first time on the PS4 base. It made me think of how Sony should be making a new handheld, and Microsoft as well, for many reasons. The power we have now with mobile chips is incredible. A big reason this should be possible is FSR and DLSS. For those who do not know, this is software technology that upscales resolution with AI. It does this without losing much quality, and in some instances has shown to have an improvement in quality. Frame generation and ray reconstruction are also mightily impressive software solutions for devices with less hardware power. Unfortunately, these technologies are only available in NVIDIA hardware, and as we know, almost every handheld PC runs off AMD chips. But the new chip in the Switch 2 should in theory be capable, and that will be an NVIDIA chip. Rumors suggest that Nintendo demonstrated their new hardware running the Matrix Unreal 5 demo behind closed doors. If this is true, then the chip in the new Switch will be very impressive. Rumors also suggest that it is capable of DLSS. No word on frame generation or ray reconstruction yet that I have heard of. AI upscaling will be the heart of handhelds for the time being, until we are able to improve chips further to where we will not need it. I play Spider-Man with FSR 2.1, and it's doing the hard work to make this game not only a lot more playable on my deck, but also making it look better. The biggest issue with dedicated handhelds is exactly in the name, dedicated. Releasing games for both console and a handheld goes one of two ways. They either run the same games with the handheld versions being downgraded, which seems to limit potential of superior hardware as seen with the Xbox Series S holding back games reportedly, or they can make two separate libraries for the console and handheld like we've seen with the PSP, and then they would just port some games over to the handheld. But there's a glaring solution to me, a solution that Valve implemented with the Steam Deck. Make a PlayStation and Xbox front end. See, SteamOS is built off of Linux because it's an open source software. They essentially created a front end, and a mighty fancy one at that. We have seen others before, though theirs haven't been as streamlined and as feature rich. Think of RetroArch, Batocera, and Launchbox. These run on Android, Linux, and Windows. But they are essentially an operating system within an existing operating system with their own GUI and have designated tasks most of the time. They are meant to be a solution. Those three I mentioned are meant to be a gaming solution. They are meant to streamline how you play games on other operating systems. They are meant to simplify and make your game collection look good and be the platform you use to launch your games in your collection. Valve essentially did this by making SteamOS on top of Linux. And they actually did it way back in the day with Big Picture Mode for Windows. Now obviously Microsoft's solution would be to make their own front end for gaming. They are probably focused on it right now, making a front end for Windows, or maybe even their own gaming OS built off of Windows that runs Windows applications and programs. This will serve not only PC gaming, but also Windows PC handhelds of the future. Sony, on the other hand, could do as Steam has done and lean on Linux, making their own PC launcher, develop their own SteamOS-like experience, then launch all of their games on PC. Some could be exclusive to their launcher for timed exclusivity, then they could release them on Steam. How they do with porting PlayStation games to Steam now. They have been slowly drip feeding them out. But they need to have full integration with the software with their existing platform. Trophy support, your same friends list, etc. Then they are essentially solving two issues in one: PC ports and getting back into the handheld space. They would make a lot more money. Most of these companies' futures are in software anyways as we get closer to the singularity or complete Moore's Law. So they should continue to create their own hardware and make their own OS that can be used on PC hardware. Let people build the hardware that they want to, but be able to use your software. Continuing designing consoles and handhelds to sell them at a loss depending on software sales, as is the case now. This would be great because it would solve all the issues of scalability across the handheld and console space. There wouldn't be a need for ports or assigning your developers to make games only for one platform. In my mind, this is what Valve is about to do. I believe they are about to get into the console space in this way. They will sell a console, a handheld, and a VR unit with seamless integration. They will all run SteamOS as a front end and allow you to play your games how you want to play them. They are literally taking the best thing about PC gaming, the ability to play games how you want, at whatever power level you require, and the best thing about console gaming, seamless integration, simplicity, and convenience, and blending them together to give us gamers the perfect gaming experience. No limits. You could buy the cheapest hardware, put SteamOS on it, and play some titles. You could also build a monster PC or buy one, put SteamOS on it, and get a similar experience, but a much better premium experience. Or you could buy whatever console they design that is affordable because they will sell it for a loss because of the software you will purchase. They will be a software solution across all power levels in PC gaming. Brilliant, right? Sony and Microsoft need to adopt this philosophy. Otherwise, the dark horse that is Valve is about to change the industry with a masterstroke of brilliance. I'll be able to play my games how I want across all my devices. I can play my Steam Machine 2.0 at my desk or on the couch, then pick up my Steam Deck and take it anywhere. Late at night, when the kids go to bed, we can hop into our VR land and have a similar experience and continue where we left off in the game on all of these devices because of Steam Cloud saves. More importantly, what will win me over is the freedom SteamOS provides, plugins being a big factor. The customization I can do on my deck has been my favorite aspect of owning the handheld. Changing the UI how I want it, using custom cover art that I and many others have created, changing my boot animation, etc. Using Steam input to control my games how I want to control them. These are huge for me. PC gaming's freedom has always been a reason I love PC gaming, and honestly, my love for trophies and Sony's IP have been the reason I have never switched. Also, I love their hardware designs, and I've been a PlayStation kid since Sega met its doom in the hardware space, but Valve has won me over. Because console gaming is great for its convenience and simplicity, but now SteamOS exists and it does the same thing but even better, because now I have the freedom to play my games how I want to play them, presented how I want them presented, and with almost the same level of convenience as a console. The big glaring issue with the Steam Deck has been anti-cheat. It is a big reason people choose Windows handhelds. That and the lack of Linux support for many applications and programs people rely on. These are things that Valve are working on, I'm sure of it, and I hope they find solutions. The software support from third parties may solve itself as Valve's software and hardware continues to gain traction. Anti-cheat is harder to fix because it's at a kernel level in most cases, but if anyone can find a solution, it is Valve, the company who just shipped a handheld with HDR when Linux has lacked that for the longest time. See, because we the people use Linux because its open source nature and the privacy it provides, but now we have a company worth almost $8 billion using it and improving it. The potential is limitless. As a PlayStation fan, I hope Sony can adjust in many ways to be more consumer friendly and give the people what they want, because Valve is doing that, and if my theory is true, Valve is about to have its name right next to Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. Valve is the dark horse of the industry, and we are just now seeing what they are going to do for this industry in the mainstream. They already run PC gaming, with them being the main launcher preferred. Now they have the Steam Deck, and if my theory is right, and they're going to ship a console like PC at a loss, then they're going to garner even more fandom and hype than they already have, and a lot of people may start using their ecosystem as their main platform to game on. Worse yet is the Xbox releases all of its games on PC, and Sony is starting to release their games on PC. So imagine the Trojan horse that would be the Valve Steam Machine 2.0, technically a PC, but more like a console that runs PC games, ROMs from older systems, all Xbox games, and many PlayStation games. You could customize it how you want. You could play how you want to play, with support from all of its fans, all the artists, the modders, the tinkerers, with all the mods, the plugins, and other hardware and software solutions, where people could have both a PC experience and a console experience blended together at an affordable price. If Valve plays its cards right, they may be about to change gaming forever.